Be strong.
Hello kids! This is Doc V for our new lesson in English. This is for English 5, Quarter 3, Week 4, Most Essential Learning Competencies. The topic is making generalizations and summarizing various text types based on elements. So before we proceed, of course, I would like to request everyone to please subscribe and click the notification bell for more updates of videos. Thank you! Okay, kids, after going through this lesson, you are expected to make generalizations and summarize various text types based on elements. Summarizing teaches students how to recognize the most important ideas in the text, how to ignore irrelevant information, and how to integrate the central ideas in a meaningful way. A generalization is a broad statement drawn from a group of facts about a topic. It must be supported by evidence that is logical and factual. Learning to make generalizations will help you develop conclusions and identify trends. In making generalization, we may use the following guidelines. First, gather information. Second, identify relationships among facts. Third, make a generalization that states a relationship and is consistent with most of the supporting facts. Let us read the paragraph. All together, please. Asma's letter on Christmas is different in some ways. One, it isn't a greeting card. Two, it is a letter addressed to Jesus Christ, who is not a common person, relative, friend, or acquaintance. Jesus, for the Christians, is the son of Mary. And three, the letter is asking for some explanation of the untoward happenings here on planet Earth. Lastly, the letter will not be mailed but will be placed on the altar for the angels to carry to Jesus. Amazingly different in three ways. The letter holds the greatest message of all time, the message of love and justice, of brotherhood and sisterhood. Okay, these are the questions here. The questions. Okay, which sentence states the generalization? Then the question is, how did you know? What examples or reasons or facts are presented to validate the generalization? What words or phrases introduce them? Remember that generalizations are like big umbrellas. Okay. In the first question, which sentence states the generalization? Let us find out this in this paragraph. Okay? So, in this paragraph, the sentence there is Asma's letter on Christmas is different in some ways. So, this is the generalization. Different in some ways. The Asma's letter on Christmas is different in some ways. And how did you know? Because of the word some. Diba? This is the word some. Then, what examples or reasons or facts are presented to validate the generalization? So, different in some ways. Why? One, it isn't greeting card. Two, it is a letter addressed to Jesus Christ, who is not a common person or relative, friend, or acquaintance. And next, Jesus for the Christians is the son of Mary. And three, The letter is asking of some explanations of the untoward happenings here on the planet Earth. And lastly, the letter will not be mailed but will be placed on the altar for the angels to carry Jesus. Amazingly different in three ways, the letter holds the greatest message of all time, the message of love and justice and brotherhood, or brotherhood and sisterhood. So, the next question, remember that generalization are like big umbrellas. In everyday language, a generalization is defined as a broad statement or an idea that is applied to a group of people or things, right? Often, generalizations are not entirely true because there are usually examples of individuals or situations wherein the generalization does not apply. Okay? But in some ways, of course, some generalizations are valid, which means that they are supported by the facts or details. Like this one, this is valid because there are facts or details that support for the generalization. Some are faulty, which means that they are not supported. Ulitin ko, pag mayroong nagiging valid ang generalization if there are supported details for that. And pag wala po, so it means to say that it is faulty. Kasi they are not supported by the facts or details. Okay, next. A summary restates on the main points of a text without giving examples or details such as dates, numbers, or statistics. When you summarize, you keep in mind the answers to the 5 WH questions. WH questions and how questions. Texts are written for a variety of purposes using different forms and standards of composition. These forms of writing are known as text type. There are two main text types, the factual and the literary. Factual text types include the factual description, recount, or persuasive. Literary text types include the poetry, narrative, or personal response. One of its kind is the narrative text. It is a type of literary that tells a story. It presents series of events which can either be fiction or non-fiction. Fiction narrative may include the picture books, cartoons, fantasy, adventure, science fiction, fairy tales, legends, fables, or plays. The nonfiction narratives include the autobiography, the biography, the memoir, the diary, and others. Take note of that. The basic elements of narrative include the theme, the setting, the characters, and the plot. Theme refers to the author's message about life or human nature he or she tries to convey in the story. The setting answers the when and where the story happens, and the characters are the people, animals, or things playing an important role for the events. The plot consists of the episodes happened from beginning, middle, and ending events. Okay? Okay, let's find out this. Now that you already know its elements, let us find out how we are going to summarize if we come across with a very long text. Here are some ways on how you can summarize a text. For text A, look at this. Let us read all together. Mario stood calmly by the door of the principal's office while waiting for his teacher. He looked farther to check on his advisor if she would be coming because she was nowhere. After a few minutes, a spectacled man was in sight. It was the school principal. Mario told the principal about the purpose of his visit. He made his statement clear why he brought his cell phone to school. He told the principal that his classmates shouted at him in their classroom, telling him that bringing cell phone was not allowed. He felt weak explaining his reason for doing it. He told the principal that it hurt him to have violated a school policy, but doing this made him feel secure to text or call up his sick mother at home. He told the principal that he was sorry for doing it, but it hurt him because his purpose was concern of his sick mother. The principal patted the apologetic pupil on the shoulder and spoke kindly to him. So let us read naman the text B. While waiting for his advisor to come home, to come to school, to come. Again, while waiting for his advisor to come, Mario visited the principal's office. His purpose was to explain why he had brought his cell phone in class. Earlier, his classmate noisily reminded him that bringing cell phone in school was not allowed. Nevertheless, Mario told the principal that it hurt him to violate the school policy, but he had to do it. Mario said that he felt secure to text or call his sick mother. The principal just patted the apologetic pupil and spoke to him kindly. Now, how is Test A different from Text B? Next, Text B is the summary of Text A, which is the original text. How are the two texts the same? Do they have the same idea and details? Okay, the first question. How is Text A different from Text B? And this one, Text A is longer, okay, very long. The narrative, the Text A is somehow long, and this one is the summary of text. Text B is the summary of Text A. Then, which is the original text? Of course, the original text is Text A, right? And how are the two texts the same? It is the same for its content, that about 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 the content of text A and text B is the same. Do they have the same idea in the details? Yes, the same idea. Okay, next. Likewise, you may also use a summary chart to organize your ideas like in the story grammar. So like the story grammar here, look at the chart. It was um, another way of summarizing a text is through scanning and skimming. Scanning is a technique or quick reading that helps you find specific details or relevant information. When you scan, you only find the keywords needed to answer the question. Here are the tips on how are you going to do this. Look for the key information. So next, look at its paragraph. Locate the topic sentence, the first one, and decide what is the main point. Or the main point is, then list the key points and include only the main ideas of the text. Then for skimming is letting your eyes and mind skim over the text quickly as to note the most important points. What do you do when you skim? Okay, let your eyes travel down the page slightly but rapidly. Then find the keywords that tell to who, what, when, where, why, and how. So WH question and how question. Then keep in mind that the first sentence in the paragraph or the first paragraph of an article usually contains the important details that give the general idea. As you scan and skim, you may underline Then circle or put any mark on the words or phrase which are to be remembered. You may write the summary in a complete sentence or two, just like in the example presented. Look at the example here, the story grammar, the setting, the characters, and the plot. So here, you have to organize. This is the correct, the summary chart, how to organize the ideas. So there are questions there. So for A, sa setting, when and where did the story happen? For the characters, who are the persons moving in the story? And how about the plot? Kasama na plot. Then for letter C, what is the situation? Letter D, how come it happened? Then letter E, how did they try to resolve the problem? Then for F, what is the result? And G, what is the story trying to say? Okay? So these are the chart, the summary chart to organize your ideas. So sinasabi din dito, the tips on how you're going to do this, the the keywords, what will you do in summarizing and skimming and scanning and summarizing. So look at how you're going to do this. Look for the key information. Anong key information yon? Key sentence. Then look for its paragraph. Locate the topic sentence. Pinag-aralan na natin yan. Ang topic sentence ay nandoon din sa main idea, sa first sentence of the paragraph. For the key points, include the main ideas of the text. Magkasama po ang main idea doon sa key points na yon. Kasi tinatawag nga yan na key sentence na doon din yung key points. Okay? For skimming naman daw, anong gagawin pag skimming? Let your eyes travel down the page slightly but rapidly. Hahanapin mo pa rin yung keywords at yung WH and how questions. Sino? Who, what, ano, when, kailan, where, saan, why, bakit, and how, paano. So, pinapakarinig dito, keep in mind that the first sentence in the first paragraph of an article usually contains the important details that give the general idea. Sinasabi ko nga before pa, na sa first sentence of the paragraph, doon makikita ang mga importanteng detalye about the main idea and also the keywords there, you can see in there, kasi makikita doon ang general idea din. Okay, doon makikita ang key points doon, ang key sentence, at ang main idea. In the first sentence of the paragraph. So there are also, you have to, how to skim, you have to circle and put a mark on the words or phrase which are to be remembered. Kailangan, alam din natin kasi minsan, pag tayo nag-skim, usually mabilis yan. So, ang gagawin nyo lang, underline nyo at bilugan yung mga mark at ima-mark nyo para hindi nyo makalimutan, maalala nyo, ito yung mga importanteng detalye. You may write the summary in complete sentence or two, just like the example presented. Okay, kahit na ang summary kasi, you may write summary in a complete sentence, kahit na 2 or 3 to 5 summary for summarizing the selection or the passage or the text. Okay? Then, this one. Let's read this one. Okay, let us read. The Muscat Circus was the biggest circus troupe ever visited in the Philippines. The show officially opened at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This was held at Quezon City Big Dome. The 136-man Soviet group arrived on a big ship. The circus troupe featured world-class acts involving over 100 human performers, 10 lions, a team of clowns, a team of Cossack horses, the world's #1 hula hoop artist, and Irywa Bogrimova, the tiger tamer. The Moscow State Circus has been named after the famous clown, the legendary Karandas, who heads the group. Look at the underlined word there. Okay, look at the underlined word there. So, in this part, let us read the sentence. Is it, again, direction, read its sentence. Is it a generalization? Write yes or no on the following statement. Write the signal words. Okay, here. Since we all know that there are clues for generalization, the how to generalize, or the what I mean, these are the clue words, like for generalization, like all, some, always, every, everyone, few, many, most, never, none, and usually, seldom, few, generally, in general, overall, might, rarely, sometimes, typically, or probably. These are the clue words kung saan nakita ang how you can see that it was already a generalization. Okay? Let us answer yes or no on the following statement. Write the signal words. What are the signal words that I have stated here? Okay, here number 1, all boys love to play basketball. Is it a generalization, yes or no? Okay. If your answer here, okay, let us read all together, please. All boys love to play basketball, the first one. Then second, some people are afraid of the dark. And third, the grade 5 learners are helpful. Number 4, my sister and my brother are fond of playing chess. Then number 5, always wear the face mask in going to the market. So here, as I said a while ago, let us analyze. Because of the signal word all, this means that number 1 statement, the answer is yes. If your answer is yes, you're correct. And number 2, some people are afraid of the dark because of some. Because of the word some, this is the clue or the signal word. So if your answer is yes, definitely you're right. Then, the grade 5 learners are respectful. Is this a generalization? It should be supported with what? So, this is, or if your answer here is no, you're right. Then, my sister and my brother are fond of playing chess. If your answer here is no, good. Then, number 5, always wear face mask in going to the market. So, always, because of the word always, it means to say it is a generalization. If your answer here is yes, so you're definitely correct. Good. Now, let's proceed to letter B, direction. So, summarize in 5 to 6 sentences the fable, Two Cats and a Monkey, using the WH and how question as guide questions. Okay? Let us read all together. Ready? Go! The Cats and a Monkey. Once upon a time, there lived two cats near a village. They were close friends. They played, slept, and went everywhere together. Suddenly, one day, there was no food for both of them. The two cats went for the search of food. They found a loaf of bread. They began to fight over it. One cat said, "I found it first. It's mine." Another cat said, "No, I found it first. Give it to me." A monkey in the tree, seeing them fighting, said, "It will be great if I get that bread. It looks yummy." He came to the cats and said, "Friends, why are you quarreling? I will settle your fight." But the cats agreed to his proposal. The monkey split the bread into two uneven pieces. One piece was large and the other one piece was small. Then he ate a portion from the larger piece, but this made the other piece larger. So it took a bite from the other piece. Likewise, the monkey ate the whole loaf of bread. It climbed back to the tree laughing at the cats. So where can you find, what will you do now? You have to summarize. So summarize. So you have to answer, the WH and how questions. Then you have to know the main idea first, then the supporting details, then that's it. You have to summarize. Okay? So the next one, this one for letter A, direction. Read the text below and write a generalization of the details on your paper. Okay, so let us read. Let us read all together, children. Some astronomers believe that asteroids are the remnants of a planet that came close to Jupiter and was torn apart by Jovian gravity. Others say that they resulted from a collision between two or more planets. Still others think the solar system originated from swirling clouds of particles that once surrounded the sun, and that the asteroids are rocks that never came together to form a planet. So you can write the details, a generalization of the details on your paper. So I know you can do it. So start with because of the word some. If your answer, by the way, if your answer is some astronomers believe that asteroids are the remnants of the planet that came close to Jupiter and was torn apart by Jovian gravity. If this is your answer, you're right. Why? Because of the clue word some. Okay, you're going to write this detail on your paper. Okay, next. You have letter B, you have to summarize its elements by completing the graphic organizer. So you have to summarize later. Let us read first. Until We Eat Again by Mary Grace de Galicia. Amidst the pandemic, fast food restaurants let me in or let me out. Children, the young ones, and even adults really miss their experiences in eating at different fast foods together with the family, friends, or relatives due to rise in number of people infected by the virus. Fast food owners and managers think of ways on how they can still serve their food to many. Some open their fast food chains, but they are offering takeout, though pick up, or by a delivery service. There are also other people offering the what we call as pasabay, in which we will be paid in a minimal amount based on the location to where the food will be delivered. This way, people from all walks of life still had a chance to eat the food served in fast food chains and restaurants, even if they are at home. So what will you do? You have summarized to summarize the elements by completing the organizer. The organizer here. It's the organizer. Like as we can uh, as I presented you a while ago, that the organizer there on on your learner's pocket. that starts with the setting. What else? The characters and the plot. You can see that on your earlier, also in your learner's packet. The first is the setting. So let us answer. I'll give you a chance to answer, okay? So according to that, you have summarized and by completing the graphic organizer, right? Start with the setting. When and where did the story happen? When and where? When? In the midst of pandemic. What else? Then, what are the characters? Who are the characters in the plot? So there are questions there that you are going to answer. Okay, this time, children, you will be the one to summarize. Okay? You will be the one to summarize this. Another one. Here, read the paragraph, then provide a generalization. You will be the one to answer this. Many, if not all, infectious diseases can be prevented by some means such as immunization, hand washing, and general cleanliness. Most people are immunized against flu, diphtheria, whooping cough, polio, and tetanus. Uh, Still, other people who travel in other parts of the world need to undergo vaccination for diseases like typhoid and yellow fever. Through through hand washing and other good food habits may help prevent the spread of colds, flu, and food poisoning. Brushing one's teeth is another practical way to protect the teeth from cavities and gum disease. Most importantly, general cleanliness of surroundings contribute greatly in the prevention of diseases. As we all know, a while ago, I told you there are clue words na you're going to look, and of course, you have to provide a generalization there. So what will be the generalization in this paragraph? Okay, generally, what is? So you have to provide a generalization test. But as I told you, children, that where can you find the generalization? It should be supported with details with details like this one. Many, if not all, because of the word all, infectious diseases can be prevented by some means of immunization and general cleanliness, like that. And there are also supported ideas for this. Okay, so you have to write this one and on your notebook or in your paper you're going to provide a generalization of this. Okay, then that's it. Before I say thank you. So thank you, kids, for being with me. Thank you for answering all the tasks. And if you find it hard to understand the lesson, try to watch again the video for you to understand more. Okay, and then for this, thank you. For those who are not able to subscribe yet, please subscribe now and kindly click the notification bell for more updates of videos. Thank you. Stay safe, everyone. Bye bye. God bless us all.